It's only July, but it's already been a super busy offseason in the NBA. ESPN NBA writer Zach Cram dished out some offseason grades for us to debate. No team got higher than the Spurs, who received an A for signing Wemby to a new max deal at a team-friendly discount. Meanwhile, the two teams who created the biggest splash during free agency didn't grade so high. You'll see the Celtics got a C- after their trade of Jaylen Brown, and the Lakers received a C+ for the moves they made after LeBron James became a free agent, notably the Walker Kessler acquisition and reshaping what the core of that team looks like. Brian Windhorst joining us now here on First Take. Windy, as you take a look at those two teams that we mentioned there, can you determine who had the better offseason thus far between two teams that don't grade so high? So the Lakers or the Celtics?
Oh, Courtney, I would say this is a question you may get a lot of different opinions on. It's a really fair question. Not only that, their payrolls are almost exactly the same. It'd be one thing if you said one team was spending $25 million more, but for the 15 players on average or whatever, they've got the same expenditure. I'm going to go with the Celtics, and I'm going to tell you why. And I like the Walker Kessler addition for the Lakers. That is a type of player that Luka Doncic absolutely is going to mesh with. But here's the nuance that you have to realize. This offseason, the Celtics added future first-round picks and draft capital. The Lakers traded it all away. When you look at going forward, the Celtics have 5 tradable first-round picks. They have a $20 million trade exception. I don't know if they're going to use it because I don't know how much they're going to go into the tax with this team. And they've got 7 tradable second-round picks. The Lakers are exhausted. They've got, I think they've got 3 seconds they can trade in one swap. So the Lakers are kind of locked into this team, whereas the Celtics, I think, can improve it during the season, Stephen A. And also, I'll say this. The Celtics won 56 games last year. I don't think they're probably going to win as many this year, assuming good Jason Tatum health. But I still think they're a 50-win team. The Lakers won 53. Do we think the Lakers are going to win a lot more than 53? Maybe they will, but I think they're probably about the same team, and the Celtics have much better future maneuverability.
Well, listen, I get where you're coming from. And listen, I reserve the right to change my mind based on what we see them do with those picks, Wendy. But for the moment, I think that you have to look at the Los Angeles Lakers and say that, you know what? They've had a better offseason. And I think it's primarily because of the Kessler deal. I mean, he's a 7'2" rim protector. He averaged over 12 rebounds a game, 2.4 blocks per game. All right, so you've got those block shots, you've got a rebounder and a rim protector, and obviously center spot. And not only that, guess what? You don't have to depend on DeAndre Ayton. So that definitely is a plus. Make no mistake about that. You don't have to worry about your center mentally being in the Bahamas 50% of the year. That's really the situation involving the Los Angeles Lakers, Wendy, and we cannot ignore that. Clearly, losing LeBron James, I think is a loss. I think it was something they should have prioritized trying to make happen to keep him on board, but they didn't do that. But you did. Obviously, you've got Luka Doncic. You re-signed Austin Reeves, who can play. And I think your backcourt offensively, not defensively, but offensively is elite. You've got a defender at the center spot who can rebound and block shots, and I think that's incredibly important. And so because of that, even though you've clearly invested in them, I'm looking at their numbers. Luka Doncic at $53.4 million this year. Austin Reeves going to be at $46.2. Kessler's at $32.5. Your fourth highest is Quentin Grimes at $15 million per. But in the end, I think that when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, they've made a decision to move in a forward direction with the 3 guys they have. Is it going to win them a championship? Hell no. But I do think that they're better off right now than the Los Angeles Lakers than the Boston Celtics, because they don't have Jaylen Brown anymore. You don't know about the health of Jason Tatum and whether or not he's going to ever return to form, and you don't know how Brad Stevens is going to utilize those picks. I'm confident he will do a great job with it. I'm confident Jason Tatum will be ready. But the unknown does factor into the equation here compared to the known that the Lakers have with their trifecta in Los Angeles right now. I have to give them the edge for the moment.
Well, we know that the Celtics make decisions, especially with spending, based on analytics. And I think what the Celtics believe, not necessarily comparing to Walker Kessler, but the Lakers are going to pay Walker Kessler $32 million a year for the next 4 years. The Celtics, they signed Mitchell Robinson this year, and they signed Neemias Queta to an extension. They're going to pay those guys an average of about $28 million over the same span. They probably believe that those two guys put together making less money than Kessler will be more productive. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but that's the way the Celtics are approaching it. Decisions like that, and we'll see what strategy works.
Well, respectfully, this ain't about what the Celtics believe. This is about what you and I believe. And that's what this segment is about. It's about what you and I believe. And what I'm saying is that I got to wait and see when it comes to the Boston Celtics. And also, I'd like to add this. Kessler averages, about 4.5 offensive rebounds per game? That's more opportunities for Luka to score. We can't negate that either. Just something to consider.
Absolutely. And as this offseason starts to slow down, we still obviously wait on the LeBron James decision, and we will see if any of these grades for any of these teams on this list end up changing when they
replaced by the waiting game. It's been 21 days since LeBron James told the Lakers he wanted to play a 24th season, just not with them. Teams like the Cavs, the Heat, 76ers, and Warriors made their pitches, and now they wait by the phone. LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, told the Game Over podcast that we will keep on waiting.
We're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and decide or allow someone else to decide when he makes that decision. From a business perspective, you are making a choice between jobs, high-level jobs, and you've earned the right. You're a big-time executive that's with an unbelievable, arguably the best resume in the history of your job. Who's rushing you?
Okay.
Nobody.
All right, senior NBA writer Dave McMenamin is here to give us the latest. All right, Dave, what are you hearing about when we could possibly hear an announcement from LeBron?
Christine, I checked in with Rich Paul today on my way into the studio, and he told me, quote, nothing happening today. So I can at least tell you that much of an update as to when the announcement will be. And right now, it's up to LeBron. As Rich said in this podcast that he released on Monday, and when he reiterated on Pat McAfee's show today, LeBron has all the information. There's not like his team is waiting for other subsequent moves to be made. They're not asking for the interested suitors to send more pitches. It's just LeBron taking his time with this decision. Now, when I was in New York last week, covering LeBron's public appearances there, talking to people with some of the teams involved and some people with the NBA, there was hope that we would find out this week. We're 2 days into it. Didn't find out Monday, didn't find out Tuesday. And there's still a few more days this week, and we'll see.
Okay, we'll see what happens. So no rush for the GOAT, but like the rest of the world, the NBA teams in contention are patiently waiting. So how are those teams handling their roster moves in the meantime?
Well, this was actually pretty interesting. Rich Paul on the podcast said, if you have an open roster spot, don't wait for us. Like, fill it. And obviously, when LeBron's only asking for a league minimum, then you're not risking too much on a back-end roster spot if you feel that the need to fill it, because you'd be probably talking about a minimum guy anyway. So you could, if you really want to have an insurance that you're not going to be left out in the cold